Hi guys, this is week 25 Project Life and I'm starting with my photos and I've got the July Citrus Twist Pocket Life kit out, so I'm just going to go through and sort out some cards. But what I wanted to talk about this week was how you document those less than stellar weeks. We all have them, those just weeks where nothing goes right or weeks where something really bad happens. Do you document them? I mean, I do. You know, I'm a believer in documenting it all, but let me know down below how you document those weeks, because it's a question I get asked a lot and it's something that can be really difficult. But one thing I do believe in is not glossing over those tough times. I think it's important for ourselves and important for the people who may one day look at these albums to realize that life wasn't always picture perfect, that there were hard times and that you did get through it. There are a few ways that I was going to say that I like to document bad weeks, but I guess the term is choose. There are a few ways I choose to document bad weeks. And one of them is going to be this week, which is I skip a lot of the journaling and I let stamps tell the story. Now, I'm using 3 different stamp sets this week. They're from both the Pocket Life kit, the scrapbook kit, and the add-on stamp from Citrus Twist this month. And they all have this not the best day theme, which is perfect for this week, really. So that's one way that I like to let the product, I guess, tell the story when I don't really have the words for it. Often because I am sharing my life so publicly on here, if I do add journaling for these bad weeks, I tend to do it after I finished filming, or I might just hide the journaling in behind the photos rather than having it on public display. And so stamping becomes a really easy way to get the sentiment of what was going on across without actually having to write those words. So far I've used a couple of different coloured inks, and for this white one here I'm using just a gel pen to fill in the little check box. So because I've used the white ink, I figure I'll use it here again as well. Now this photo is definitely not a bad one. It was a fun movie night that I had with my girlfriend, and so I think that another thing for bad weeks is they're not always all bad, so I do try and pick out any good bits from them I can, just to give a little bit of balance. Now this photo here, I purposefully cropped it. It was a photo from my Instagram stories, and I cropped it so that I had this blank space at the top of it to add a little cluster of stamps here, because I think adding more than one stamp of this particular nature definitely helps emphasize what's going on. One stamp is great, but when you've got 3 or 4 added in a cluster, you really get the picture of what's been going on. I've had a few really bad weeks in the time that I've been doing Project Life, and I'll admit that I think twice, only twice in the 6 years, I've just skipped that week altogether. Bad weeks like that don't tend to encourage me to take photos, and I know there were a couple of bad weeks where we spent most of the time in hospital, and there was definitely no photo taking going on. So for those weeks I have just skipped them entirely. I know I've had a couple of other weeks where all I've done is printed out a 12 by 12 enlargement of one photo and just used that as a placeholder for the week without going into any more detail about it. Sometimes that's all you need as a reminder of what was going on. Do leave a comment down below if you've got any other ways for dealing with documenting not so great weeks. I know it's a question I get asked a lot, so if we can all share our tips and tricks, we might pick up a few new things. So you can see here I'm already on to my title card. That's the beauty of letting these stamps do the talking this week. It is a very quick process to go through. I'm not adding any other embellishments or journaling or anything like that, just the stamping. So I'm already up to my title card. I'm just adding one of the labels from the cut apart sheet, and then I'm just going to put down my title with these really pretty blue alphas. It's sort of, I think it was coincidental, but The colours from this week are all really cool toned as well. A lot of that came from my photos and the papers that I've chosen. Cool toned papers, neutrals with little pops of yellow, and I think that almost helps emphasize the fact that it wasn't a great week. So colour is definitely another way that you can emphasize what was happening that week. Sometimes it's bright and cheery, and other times it is a little bit dark and gloomy. So I've tended away from dark and gloomy this week and just gone from cool tones instead. And that is this week all done. It's super simple, and it gets the point across that this was not one of those best week evers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye!